Have you ever considered why we crave to control our circumstances only to find ourselves more entangled in the web of life's uncertainties? Let's take a moment to unravel this enigma. Human beings by nature are control seekers. We crave the comfort of predictability, the assurance of stability. We try to control our days with routines, schedules, and systems. We establish protocols for work, embark on diets or exercise regimes to manage our health. We strive to steer our relationships, our future, our finances, all in a bid to have a firm grip on the steering wheel of life. But here's the paradox. Life, in all its glory, is unpredictable. It's like a river, ever flowing, ever changing. Trying to control life is akin to attempting to hold the river's current. It's a futile exercise that often leaves us more entangled in the web of uncertainties. This desire for control, though seemingly innocuous, is often fueled by our discomfort with uncertainty, our fear of the unknown. It's this fear that propels us to seek a sense of command over life's variables. But in doing so, we often find ourselves grappling with stress and anxiety. We become driven by our fears, our happiness held hostage by the illusion of control. Even when we manage to gain some semblance of control, it's never enough. We're forever chasing the elusive feeling of being in control, resulting in a perpetual cycle of striving and anxiety. And when our carefully controlled world is disrupted, we lash out, we resist, we fight to regain our lost sense of command. In our relentless pursuit of control, we expend time, money, energy, and other valuable resources, only to find ourselves feeling lost, depressed, and unhappy when we inevitably fail to control the uncontrollable. The pursuit of control, far from setting us free, often leads us into a labyrinth of stress, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. The paradox of control lies in the realization that the more we try to control, the more out of control we often feel. It's a paradox that invites us to question our need for control and to explore the liberating power of surrender. What price are we willing to pay for the illusion of control? An obsession with control can have profound, far-reaching effects on our lives. The first and most recognizable is stress and anxiety. When we're constantly striving for control, any deviation from our carefully crafted plans can send us spiraling into worry and unease. This incessant need to control everything often fuels our decisions with fear, leading us to make choices that are not necessarily what's best for us, but what we believe will maintain our sense of control. In this constant pursuit of control, we are rarely satisfied with the present moment. We're too busy looking ahead, planning, strategizing, and trying to predict every possible outcome. This dissatisfaction with the present robs us of the simple joy of living in the now, experiencing life as it unfolds, with all its unpredictability and surprise. This constant striving for control, this relentless need to have everything under our thumb, can consume a staggering amount of our resources. Think about the time, money, and energy we pour into trying to control every facet of our lives. It's like trying to hold water in our hands. The more we squeeze, the more it slips through our fingers. And when we inevitably fail to control everything, as we invariably will, the blow to our self-esteem can be devastating. We feel lost, depressed, unhappy with ourselves and the world around us. We lash out at others when they interfere with our controlled world, damaging our relationships and adding to our stress. The irony is, in our quest to control, we often end up feeling more out of control. The more we seek it, the more elusive it becomes. And so, we find ourselves trapped in a vicious cycle, always chasing after something we can never truly grasp. In our relentless quest for control, we often lose sight of the peace and happiness that lies in the present. By surrendering to the flow of life, we can break free from this cycle and discover a more peaceful, fulfilling way to live. Are you truly in tune with your emotions, or do you find yourself in constant denial? That's a question we all need to ask ourselves. Signs of resistance to surrender may be more common than you think. They manifest in the subtle art of brushing off your feelings with casual phrases like, "It's fine" or "I'm good." Another sign is distraction. When emotions rise, do you turn to work, TV, or social media as a quick escape? This is a common tactic to avoid dealing with how you're feeling. And let's not forget the classic move of burying ourselves under a blanket and binge-watching a TV series until we forget about our feelings. These behaviors, while seemingly harmless, are signs of resistance to surrender. They indicate a struggle to let go of control and fully experience our emotions. But fret not. Recognizing these signs is the first step towards the liberating practice of surrender. What does it mean to surrender? And how can we incorporate this practice into our lives? Surrendering isn't about admitting defeat or throwing in the towel. It's about releasing the tight grip we often have on our lives, our expectations, our emotions. It's about allowing ourselves to flow with the current of life rather than trying to swim against it. So, how do we practice this art? 1. By acknowledging our emotions instead of suppressing them. 2. By letting go of rigid plans and expectations, embracing the unpredictable nature of life. 3. By practicing mindfulness and staying present in the moment. 4. By accepting things as they are, not as we wish them to be. And 5. By embracing uncertainty as a part of life's adventure. Remember, surrender is not an act of defeat, but a strategy of victory over our inner turmoil. By practicing surrender, we can find serenity amid chaos, becoming more resilient and at peace with ourselves. What awaits us when we choose to surrender? Imagine a life unburdened by the constant tug of control, where we're free to breathe, to just be. This is the serenity of surrender. It's a state of grace, where the world is no longer a battlefield but a playground. When we surrender, we tap into a wellspring of peace that resides within us. We're no longer at the mercy of our circumstances, but take life as it comes, with an open heart and mind. Surrendering doesn't mean we become passive. Rather, it's a conscious choice to stop fighting against the current of life and instead, to start flowing with it. It's about embracing the unpredictable and finding joy in the unexpected. When we surrender, we invite acceptance, patience, and resilience into our lives. We cultivate a deeper connection with ourselves and others. We're no longer chasing after control, but finding freedom in the simple act of just letting go. In the realm of surrender, we find the tranquility we often seek in control.